I call this meeting of the Pittsburgh City Commission to order April 27, 2021. Would you join me in the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next item is public input is, I believe, Mark Chambers. Would you please lead us in a prayer?
Good evening, everyone, and I'm glad to be back with you this evening. May we bow for a moment of prayer. Father, we give you thanks for this day. We give you thanks for the city of Pittsburgh. We thank you for our commissioners and for the time that they give of themselves to help make our city a better and safer place. To our city leaders and to all the employees for the city of Pittsburgh, we give you thanks for them for doing the job, doing things that we are so unaware of and things that we take advantage of, and we just want to say thank you for them. Bless all the citizens here of this city. Bless the meeting tonight, and we ask your peace and harmony be upon them. Guide them with your spirit, and all decisions that they make, that they will be for the good and for the welfare of Pittsburgh, Kansas. We ask these things in your holy, precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you.
Next, I have a couple of proclamations. The first one is, could you join me up front, teachers and school staff Appreciation Day received by St. Mary's Cogan?
Public input.
Any more public input?
Oh, sorry. Is there any more public input? Seeing none, I will move on to the proclamation. So could the teachers and school staff Appreciation Day received by St. Mary's Cogan and USD 250 personnel, could you meet me up front? No one here from St. Mary's? All right. I'll make sure this is it. All right, Rich. This is from the Office of Mayor, City of Pittsburgh. Proclamation. Whereas, through their dedication to ensure our children gain the knowledge and skills required to be successful, the teachers and school staff members in our community are vital to building our future. And whereas we face unprecedented times through the global pandemic, teachers and school staff members are finding innovative ways to support student learning. And whereas teachers and school staff members fill numerous roles as listeners, role models, coaches, motivators, and mentors. And whereas at every level, teachers and school staff members nurture, inspire, and encourage the academic, social, and emotional growth of their students. And whereas teachers continue to influence their students long after school days are reduced to memories. And whereas the City of Pittsburgh recognizes and supports the teachers and school staff members in our community who dedicate countless hours and extra effort to help students prepare themselves for further education, the workforce, and their civic duties. Now, therefore, I, Chuck Mansell, Mayor of the City of Pittsburgh, Kansas, do hereby proclaim May 4th, 2021 as Teacher and School Staff Appreciation Day in Pittsburgh, and encourage the community to join us as we express appreciation to our teachers and school staff members for their devotion to education. Thank you, sir.
Two things. Number one, it's really a great time to show appreciation to our staff this year because we are one of two large schools, unless I'm mistaken. Anybody that has 2,800 students or above in the state of Kansas, we're only one of two school districts that were in full face-to-face all year long. And it's because we had dedicated staff that even though they may have been nervous when the pandemic was going on, they actually were there educating our kids every day. We started off with nearly 15% of our students in full-on remote. We are less than 7% right now. And you know, we'll be looking at being successful. So our teachers did a great job. And it hasn't been without a few bumps in the road, but we did it, and we did it within the best interest of our students. So if you will all thank a teacher on the 4th, but we only have less than 4 weeks left, but thank them, and this is greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Rich.
Thanks.
And I forgot to mention, this is Rich Prophet, if any of you don't know, USD 250 superintendent.
Thank you.
All right, could I have members of the Key Club join me up front? All right, you might turn that away a little bit, they want to take a picture of it. Not me, you guys. All right, I have from the Office of the Mayor, City of Pittsburgh, another proclamation. Whereas Key Club International, under the guidance of Kiwanis International, is the oldest and largest service program for high school students. And whereas Key Club International is a nonprofit, student-led organization that teaches leadership through service to others. And whereas members of Pittsburgh High School Key Club, under the direction of Miss Christian Thomas, college and career advocate and Key Club sponsor, work diligently to serve and beautify our community. And whereas the City of Pittsburgh is honored to announce that the Pittsburgh High School Key Club members have officially adopted 4th Street from Rouse to Three Kings Highway, and whereas the adoption of 4th Street will align with and extend Key Club's current adoption of 126 Highway from Three Kings Highway to the state line, and whereas the City of Pittsburgh recognizes and appreciates the efforts extended by members of the Pittsburgh High School Key Club to beautify our city. Now therefore, I, Chuck Mansell, Mayor of the City of Pittsburgh, Kansas, do hereby proclaim April 27, 2021 as Pittsburgh High School Key Club Day in Pittsburgh. And I encourage the community to join us as we express gratitude to Key Club members for their dedication to the City of Pittsburgh. And if you want to say a few words.
Get their sign.
And then we have a sign here also that we're going to put, you guys want to hold on to that? Add that to 4th Street and recognize you for all your efforts and appreciate that. Would you like to say something?
You want to talk about it?
Oh, sure. All right.
This is Christopher Simon, he's the president of Key Club this year.
All right.
This is such a wonderful opportunity. Thank you all for allowing us to do this. Our goal this year was to really try to help within the community, and that's, I know, a goal for Key Club and Kiwanis International. And I hope that in the future we'll be able to make sure that this area is wonderfully clean and a consistent community service project for our members.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you all. Moving on to the consent agenda. Are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda?
We're gonna take this, because we're gonna put it up.
Seeing none, I'll read off the consent agenda. Item A, approval of April 13th, 2021 City Commission minute meetings. Item B, approval of final payment to RFB Construction Company, Inc. of Pittsburgh, Kansas, in the amount of $3,869.50 for site clearing and grubbing project at the wastewater treatment plant. Approval of appropriation ordinance for the period ending April 27, 2021, subject to the release of HUD expenditures when funds are available, received. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Roll call vote.
Brooks?
Yes.
Fields?
Yes.
McKnight? Yes. Munsell?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving to consent, consider the following. Item A, final plat, 3P Development Group, LLC, consider the recommendations of the Planning Commission Board of Zoning Appeals to approve the final plat submitted by 3P Development Group LLC for the platting of the property located between the 16 and 1700 blocks on the south side of East 4th Street, Villas at Creekside. Go ahead.
All right. Last commission meeting, we saw and approved the preliminary plat. This is the final plat that was viewed and approved by the Planning and Zoning Board and passed on for you. Any
Any-
questions?
Any changes from the preliminary to the?
No.
final?
Yeah, I had a question I brought up last meeting, about the streets in this development. This development's gonna be a gated community. So the streets in that development will be private.
Yes, behind a gate is private. If there's no gate, it's public.
So are there gonna be gates? Behind the gates is private.
The developer is here, gate, yes, nothing has changed there. There will be a gate in place.
So then if it's a public development, we would pay for the streets, but since it's private behind a gate, any maintenance and repair of those streets will be on the developer.
Yeah, and as of a result of the last commission meeting, I've done a lot of research there. And the agreements with cities across the country run the gamut. How that maintenance looks is up to the commission and the developer to decide if they want an agreement with the city or not. There's multiple ways to write an agreement for that.
Well,
But actually, that part doesn't really affect what we're doing tonight.
No, that has nothing to do with the final plat.
Yeah.
That would be a separate deal.
so when do we need to, is there a need to make a motion tonight, that the development would be responsible in this gated community to maintain and repair streets?
No.
So when do we decide to do that?
After this development would be approved and built out, it's automatically a private development unless they decide to come to commission and request help with repair and maintenance.
So if they come to us and with help for repair and maintenance, then it wouldn't be gated?
No. we
No,
have
that
to
would
make
be
a
up to the
decision.
Oh, we'd have to make a decision.
Or there could be an agreement,
Yeah.
where they pay for it, but pay us to do it. You know, there's lots of scenarios,
Yeah.
so it's not,
That wouldn't be something we would do at this point. At concrete streets and a 29 villa development behind a gate, I would assume maintenance would be needed for the next couple decades.
Well, I can understand that, but maintenance is required on concrete as well as snow removal.
Sure.
And that would all be, in my opinion, on an agreement that we could reach with the developer. And I guess we don't reach that until the development is completed. So
Sure.
all 29 houses and all the roads and streets are going to be finished, and then they will come to us and,
They may not.
If they
They
decide.
may not, only
Yeah, I
if
was
they
gonna
decide
say.
they want help. If they decide to maintain it themselves, they don't need to come to us at all.
so we don't know what they're gonna do.
That's correct. We don't
I don't
know.
think they probably know what
That's
they're
nice.
gonna do.
Huh?
I don't think they probably know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, well, somebody's gotta ask these questions.
Sure.
Because, if it's a private development, I don't see taxpayers paying for what
Well,
I'm.
well, we wouldn't pay for it if they didn't have an agreement.
Yeah.
But they just wouldn't pay for it.
Okay, sounds good to
Same thing
me.
on snow removal. You wouldn't do snow removal if it wasn't under an agreement. They'd have to do their own.
That sounds good to me.
I move approval of the final
Well,
plat.
I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
Article 2 is all about public. It falls under Article 2 is what it's saying here. So there's nothing about private in there, so would that be a factor?
It's,
Everything in Article 2 has to, deal with public.
sure, it's going to be, I mean, we're going to have to access that public, there's gonna be public infrastructure to be maintained, inside that development as it all ties into our system.
Given the fact that this is our first gated community, there may be some work that needs to be done on some of our things, but that shouldn't
Sure.
preclude us from approving this tonight, but we probably do need to look at it.
Sure. Now, going back here, just backing up one, even though it's under Article 2, back in Article 4, which it states about no private roads in a subdivision will be platted, but being this is new, do we need to update the subdivision rules and regulations for the PUD?
No, it is a PUD, and so that allows for special rules to take place inside the PUD. That is the purpose of the PUD.
Okay, so even under Article 4, like where it says about private streets,
I would have to read that
Okay.
at this point. I'm not sure what you're referring to.
okay. It's in the subdivision rules and regulations, so as long as we're clear about whether it's public or private, which it's a great project, so I don't. So is the city providing the developer anything for this project at all, other than, extras as far as like what you would want the road to be? Would they fall in line with the way everything else is out
It will
there?
have to meet city standard, yes. It
Well,
will
like
have-
as
it
far
will
as
have to be
asphalt and
built
concrete?
Designed to city standard, yeah. Yeah, and that's part of the deal, that they wouldn't be able to go in and not put curb and gutter or anything like that. It would all have to meet city spec.
Does the gate fall under reimbursable expenses from the RHID? Or would that be considered miscellaneous? I mean, they could be reimbursed for everything that they're doing as far as the infrastructure, correct?
Sure.
So if the preliminary plat showed the sidewalks and stuff, the final one, I don't see it on there, but surely it is.
The preliminary had a development plan with it, which previously, I'm not sure plats prior to, before I got here. But there is a section to add that development plan, and that, as what you're referring to, showed trees and different things like that as well.
And
And that is
it's-
not required on a final plat,
And it's still one way in off of what would be Canterbury Drive, correct?
yeah.
All right. And then, let's see. Lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. I guess okay, as far as the timeline for Canterbury Drive, it'd have to be built. Is it gonna be built prior to them starting or along with it off of 4th Street?
As far as a finished grade,
No, into it. I mean, is it just all gonna be out that private drive right now to get to it? Or
I'm
the
not
road,
sure.
like the road, that, on the capital outlay, it shows about the road for Canterbury Drive.
Sure.
So that's what I'm talking about. At what point does that fall into play? After everything for the first phase is done?
Oh, that road will have to be finished before they can get a C of O for phase 1, yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I meant construction, traffic and all that right in there. It'll be just that private drive that's there now. Is that how they would get to that?
Well, I'm not sure of their construction timeline, but the road, at this point, they are entering off of that
Okay.
through the owner developer's property.
Okay, there is gonna be a homeowners association, correct? Is there? Or,
Dexter? No.
no? Okay,
Well, because it's rentals.
Right.
They don't, yeah.
okay, but there'll be rules probably, but so does that fall under a homeowners association? Even though they don't own it, they still live there and it is a gated
That would be up to
private?
their management company
Okay.
on what
Right.
rules they're gonna set.
And the traffic studies completed for there also?
Yeah, to defer to Matt on that. He's working on that.
Okay.
So Olson has completed a traffic study. It's been submitted to KDOT. Obviously, that's more along the conceptual and future growth stage. The developer still needs to submit his actual curb cut to KDOT and their final design for comment and get their permit from KDOT. But we have met. We actually spent like 3 hours Friday with their civil engineer going through plans, making sure the alignment of what they would submit to KDOT, the timing of that road being built with the rest of their construction going on. As far as utility and infrastructure, we've went through all that. We've got easements where we need them. We're not gonna, we won't take over anything that we can't maintain. It is not, if they try to build something over the way, we won't own it. It'll be their private. We're not taking on a bunch of extra heartache, if you will, trying to shoehorn something in. So we've already been through all that. They're gonna actually give us some additional easement for utility moving forward. We've discussed how it'll all be laid out, how it'll set, stormwater, sanitary. They do have their NOI from KDHE, which is good. That's already happened. We have to review some more stuff with the sewer extension permit and how that goes along through the floodplain, but we really made some good headway, and it'll come to our standards on their final site design. So we've worked through all that. So.
Thanks.
Thanks, man.
Is there any other question for Quentin? Is there a motion to approve this final plat?
Don made the motion.
The mayor.
Oh, you already did? Yes.
I second.
All right, been moved and seconded. All in favor of approval of the final plat, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consider following, item B, consultant agreement. Consider staff recommendation to enter into a consultant agreement with Ocean Inc. of Pittsburgh, Kansas for the engineering services associated with the Atkinson Municipal Airport apron reconstruction project in the amount of $194,500, with the amount being funded in its entirety through the FAA Airport Improvement Plan.
Yeah, so we had an RFQ out with 3 responses, internal selection committee, and Olson was selected to be the engineering consultant. We've gone through the process with the FAA and Olson. We will be submitting grant application, if this is approved tonight, to the FAA this week. And normally, these types of grants, the airport improvement grants, are a 90-10 split with the city. Due to COVID, they have bumped that to 100%.
That's good.
It will not cost the city anything. For the engineering consultant contract portion, that would be design services for the airport apron reconstruction project. Next year, we will see the construction side of it. So.
Is there any question for Quentin? Is there a motion to approve this agreement?
So move.
Second.
Been moved and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Quentin.
Thanks.
Non-agenda reports and requests. Are there any?
I don't think so unless you want to give them an update on the sales tax, or is it too preliminary?
Okay, we received our sales tax numbers today, and compared to the first 4 months of last year to this year, we're up 9.52%. So, still holding strong.
Pretty terrific.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have nothing. Does the commission have any?
Not me.
Is there? I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Been moved and second. All in favor of
Aye.
adjournment? Say aye. Aye. We are adjourned. Oh, all opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Thank you.